Well, good evening, and thank you so much for logging into this Zoom webinar. And my name is Doug Farrar. This is Sharon Farrar, my wife, and we're excited tonight to show you guys a little bit about something that we're really excited about, and that is the Tower Garden for Plus. And so we're going to be talking about the Tower Garden tonight, and you're going to learn how to grow good health. How the Tower Garden is being used around the world, how the Tower Garden works, and even how to start your own Tower Garden. It's funny how this web meeting came about because our friend Caitlin actually wanted to tell one single person about the Tower Garden. And so we set up this Zoom meeting. But then one thing led to another, and as we talked to different people got kind of excited about it. So it ended up being a little bit bigger, and more people got on. So I do want to have Caitlin share her excitement and what she's thinking about the Tower Garden. So go ahead, Caitlin.
Okay, hi everyone. It's so exciting that so many people able to join us tonight. And hi, Mom and Dad. Some things, I had just three things. I mean, of course, I'm excited about a lot of things about the Tower Garden, but three things that I think are especially cool about it are that I live in Maryland, and so growing food is very seasonal, and I love that you can use this indoors and have fresh produce all year round, even in the colder months. I also love that it's for anyone, whether you're love the science and innovative products that people who have never gardened or have failed at gardening will love, that it's just so simple and foolproof. And I also love that it is just an incredible way for the whole family to get involved in what's going on the table, and that if you have picky eaters or anything, what a better way than to say, hey, we're growing this, you want to try it? And I know that that my kids love eating food that we grow ourselves, so it's just very exciting.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you, Caitlin, for sharing that with us. Everybody's muted right now, so if you do need to speak, make sure you unmute yourself. Okay. Well, we definitely have a problem. We have a problem in our food supply right now. And as we get food, as food's being grown for the 7 billion people on the planet, they keep finding ways to try to make it less expensive for them to grow it and to produce more. But the problem is they're doing that through genetically modifying food at the cellular level. And that creates some problems for us. And so unless you're getting organic, you're not getting non-GMO food. The other thing is pesticides. I mean, just take a look at that picture right now. How excited are you to eat that food that they're spraying? You know, and that just kind of emphasizes how important it is for us to think about eating organic. But many people are hesitant to eat organic because of cost. But I want to stress to you guys that where you can, if possible, it's really important to do so because of the GMO and the pesticides. And whether you eat organic or not, make sure that you're washing your fruits and vegetables, because those pesticides, hey, I'm sure they do something, but I'm not trusting anybody. It's my body, and I want to take control of the food that's going into it. Well, even if you're eating organic, we still have the issue of the transportation of the food. So now, many times when you're eating a banana or something, that was picked weeks ago while it was green, them knowing and calculating how long it's going to take to get to your grocery store. By the time you get it, it's ripe. But that's a big difference from vine ripened. Okay, so, and it's hard for them to do vine ripened because obviously it would have to be locally grown in order for that to really happen. So the transportation is another big issue of what's going on with the food. But we have a solution, at least a partial solution to many of those issues, and that is called the Tower Garden. And it's a really exciting product that I know somebody invited you on to hear about, and my lovely wife Sharon, is going to tell you a little bit more about that.
Thank you. Well, the Tower Garden addresses a lot of those issues. You know, you can use non-genetically modified seeds. You can not spray your own plants with pesticides, and you can grow it until it's vine ripened so that you're getting all the nutrients. And then what I love the best is that even though I may have thought I wanted a salad and bought salad at the store, I probably wouldn't have eaten it, and it probably would have rotted in the refrigerator. But on the tower garden, I could think about it, and if I don't pick it, it's not starting to rot already. So every day that you go out there, everything's very vine ripened, it's raw, it's fresh, and it's wonderful. We've had our tower gardens for about 4 years. We have a couple of them. They are vertical, aeroponic, hydroponic growing systems. Vertical meaning up and down, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. Aeroponic meaning air is allowed to get to the roots, which is wonderful because that means stronger and faster growing plants. And hydroponic because water is used as the medium that has the mineral tonic in it. So down at the bottom, you'll see the green tub down at the bottom. There's 20 gallons of water and also some tonic. And that food or tonic can grow any of the plants in the tower garden. So you don't need a different tonic for green peppers versus lettuce versus cilantro, and the same tonic grows every single plant. And you can have a tower garden with 20 pods with 20 different plants, or you could have 28. And so it's up to you, but it can grow almost any vegetable, herb, flower, and many fruits. And it's a way of conserving water. You know, I think about all the times I've tried to garden or even grow a plant and how I've killed them pretty much. It was because I didn't water it. And, you know, with water restrictions, you know, here and there, and definitely out west, this is a wonderful solution because it recycles the water. You just plug in the tower garden and there's a pump at the bottom that pumps the water and then it comes back down. So it conserves water. It requires very little space. It's 3 feet in diameter and 5 feet if you have the 20 pods, but 6 feet if you have 28 pods. So it really requires very, very little space. Well, the tower garden was invented by Tim Blank. He was the chief horticulturist at Epcot, and you may have seen these types of plants at the land exhibit. It's a wonderful exhibit at Epcot. It still exists, and it's an innovative way to grow for the future. And growing upwards is the way for the future because we're going to run out of land eventually, and also we want to conserve water and be green about how we do everything. Well, he took his knowledge from his years at Epcot and he made what's called Future Growing. It's a commercial version of growing tower gardens, and those are coming up everywhere. And he also created the residential version. Well, here's a couple of pictures of the commercial version tower gardens. You might see them at the O'Hare Airport if you're there. They've been on the news. They're even in LA at a very green homeless shelter, and you could see President Clinton visiting that shelter. They've also been in Better Homes and Gardens as a beautiful way to add to your already beautiful garden. And then it's also been featured because Jessica Alba has been loving the tower garden, and she has been using it and been photographed with it. And it is an ingenious solution to gardening in the city in LA. And so why? Like we said, growing vertically can save that space. And so let's talk about what we can grow. Fruits and vegetables, all different kinds, herbs and flowers. I like to personally grow a lot of lettuces. The lettuce tastes so good. The kale grows gigantic, and everything grows back. You know, you cut it and it comes back. You cut it and it comes back. Same with the herbs. And those are easy. And then we also like to grow viney plants like tomatoes and cucumbers, but not a lot of them because they'll sort of take over the tower garden. So we might grow like 2 of those at the bottom and the rest leafy things. And the lettuce tastes so much better than the store-bought lettuce. And here is my friend Alexandra. I love this picture of her. It just shows the joy on her face to go out to the tower garden. One of the beautiful things about the tower garden is, yes, it's going to provide you food, but it also provides a lot of joy. You know, a lot of us have our tower gardens on our phone camera pictures, you know, because we love taking pictures of our tower garden as they grow. It's kind of like having another baby, you know, and it's like, did you see? And you might even put it up on Facebook and show people. And so she's so excited that she went out and her lettuce is overgrowing, but she's going to use it for her tacos. And then here are some other examples of tower gardens. The one on the left is ours, one of ours in the backyard, just a lot of lettuces, and I love that. You know, you can make a really beautiful one. You could do purples and greens and even make it like a showcase kind of tower garden. And then on the right of that is a bunch of tower gardens that somebody put on their land together, which makes it really, really beautiful. And then down in the top, on the bottom right, you can see that you can grow the tower garden with growing lights. You can have that in the winter, all year round. I have a friend who has one in her kitchen. So she just chops off the tower garden and takes it right to the kitchen where she's already at, actually. And for us, we go out to the porch, and that's not far either. My pediatrician friend, who's very healthy, says it's like having a Whole Foods in your backyard. And there's my little princess picking off some green beans. I don't know if you guys saw her earlier. She was eating the kale, but we'll show you the kale in a minute. But anyway, it brings joy to these little girls' faces too, just to see that little sprouting seed. And so imagine all the kids when they get tower gardens in the local classrooms. So if you know people who have kids in a school, most likely they do, or have teacher friends or principal friends, you know, maybe you want a tower garden in your own school or in your own backyard. These girls that were installing on the right, they were even naming their tower gardens, and you know, it can be with grow lights in the classroom. It's a lot of fun. I want to share with you how the tower garden works. This is a great summary for you.
Tower Garden's state-of-the-art aeroponic vertical garden system uses both water and air to produce more colorful, better-tasting, and incredibly nutritious fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Tower Garden has a 20-gallon reservoir at its base that stores the Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Developed by experts in plant and human nutrition, Tower Tonic Mineral Blend enables superior plant growth and better nutrition from your Tower Garden produce. The process begins once the seedlings have been placed in your tower garden. Here they will be nourished with Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Inside the reservoir is a small, low-wattage submersible pump. The pump pushes the nutrient solution up through the tower to the top. From there, the nutrient solution drips through the central tower using a special device that evenly cascades the solution over the exposed plant roots. On the journey down the tower, the nutrient solution feeds the roots and becomes highly oxygenated as it cascades gently down the reservoir. This process is continuous, providing fresh oxygen, water, and nutrients to the roots of the plants. This patented aeroponic process enables food crops to grow faster than they would in soil, so they can be harvested more often. And it makes Tower Garden the healthier, easier, smarter way to grow your produce.
Whoops. Oh,
Oh boy.
what did I do? Okay.
There you go.
Sorry about that. Isn't that an awesome video? Well, it really is that simple. And in the Tower Garden, when it is shipped, it comes with all these supplies. And it's really, really quite simple. It comes with the food, the tonic, A and B. It comes with the pH balance that once you do test the water, then you just kind of see, is it a little up or down, and you add up or down. I love that because I look at some of the dirt plants and I see like basil that might be turning yellow, and I think the pH is off, only because I've learned something from the Tower Garden. And I think, how in the world do you test pH in the dirt, you know? And so this is really so much simpler to me to be able to grow with this, because you don't have to know a lot about, you know, gardening, and you could just enjoy it. And it comes with the rock wool cubes, which is right here. And it also comes with seeds. So you plant the seeds in those, and then you put a little bit of vermiculite on top, and then it sprouts. And you put it into these black little pods and put it into the Tower Garden, and you turn on the electric, which has the pump in the bottom, and it's on a timer, and then it just goes. And it's so easy, anyone can do it. Well, when it comes to cost of the Tower Garden, it's $525. And what the company wanted to do was to make it affordable for families. So they created an installment program of 12 months of just paying $45.25 a month. And so your Tower Garden ends up paying for itself over a year. We've had ours for 4 years, so it was paid off within that first year. And I like to think that we're just loving all the fruits and vegetables that it grows without even having to pay for the tower garden anymore. Every once in a while, we'll have to order tonic, which is about $60 every 6 months, but that's really the only expense.
Yes, and I know that sometimes when people think, well, wow, $500, that's a little steep, or $45 a month. I think you have to remember, and again, if you guys have any questions, you can be chatting those in. But think about that $45 a month. If you were to go to the grocery store, think about how quickly, if you're buying your lettuces and kale and tomatoes and beans, how quickly, and then cilantro, I'm thinking of the things that I buy at the grocery store. Jalapeno peppers, I'm a salsa guy. So how quickly that can add up, and I can easily hit $10 or $15 a week doing that. And that's exactly what the cost of the tower garden is during the first year. But remember, ours is 4 years old, and we have 2 tower gardens now. So after that first year, when that was paid off, everything after that has been like a plus for us. So it's been amazing, really amazing. So I think I can pull up this chat here. Lots of hellos.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
The tower garden, we've seen them last up to 10 years. And you know what? It is double UV protected food grade plastic. That one's been outside for 4 years. We don't really bring it in during the rain or anything else. And so it's really meant to last.
Awesome. Well, guys, I am going to, oh yeah, I forgot to show this. This is like a highlight. Check this out. This is my kale. And we just took, it's huge.
We can't even fit it in
I can't fit it in the screen, but look at this. And this is another thing to notice about the tower garden. So as the kale grows, you can see where we cut it off and we ate some. And my daughter was just eating some a little bit earlier. And this just keeps going and going. Now, so it's not like you grow a kale plant and then it's gone. But you get to keep cutting it, and then it kind of keeps growing back and back and back and back. So that's pretty awesome. Okay. Oh, Kelly had a question. Why don't I trim the roots a little bit? Well, I would say, actually, Kelly, this is kind of like a dreadlock version here, but this is actually a pretty old kale plant. This has been around months and months, but this actually isn't that bad. For instance, this was on the top of our tower garden, and usually you only really trim the roots when they get down below into the water tank. So this didn't make it to the water tank at all. It looks like it kind of curled up on something in there. Yeah, you can, but I didn't see it as a problem.
No.
Yeah, my tomato plants and kale plants are like way too, and they're overpowering. So that's why I was just curious if it's okay to trim the roots as long as they're still in the reach of the water.
Yeah, I saw. Is that your tower that was on Facebook? That was amazing.
I think it's out of control.
So our seeds, well, you can order seeds. It comes with seeds. Somebody asked about where do we get our seeds. But I think even at like Whole Foods, you can get non-GMO seeds.
You can get some online. We like to use a couple of different places. One is Living Towers, and another is Atlanta Farms.
Mm-hmm.
And those we know the people, and that they're not genetically modified and all that. But you can go to places and it'll say organic seeds also. And then the question about which seeds are in the kit, I believe they're sending out eggplant or squash, plus tomatoes, 2 different kinds of tomatoes, cherry and beefsteak, basil, mixed lettuce, and cucumbers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Well, guys, if there's no further questions, you guys, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I just unmuted you guys, so I got a little loud. But you guys have a wonderful evening. Thanks again for joining us on this call.
Thanks, you too. And hey, Doug, Sharon.